My name is Matteo Dill. My interests in film is basically being able to express yourself, being able to make your vision, put it on the screen, and have other people enjoy your vision. That's the big thing for me. I love, I'm getting more into script writing more. I gotta start helping myself develop stories. Film to me is this artistic world where I'm able to, draw my beautiful plan that I've been able to have in my head, put it on paper, and actually put it on the screen, and have other people like the audience to be able to get as emotionally invested in it as I am, and being able to portray that properly. So my first film was for the first week, and my film that I had done, so the first one of the first week, was named Trauma. My second one, Possession. We were given a little bit more time for that, more time editing, of course, more technical. When I did that one, I've always loved horror movies. I love them. So I wanted to do it off of this patient. It's basically this hospital or this research center, They take these cases in, of people who have become possessed by these entities, and we're like way into time. So we're in the future, so where we can actually find some sort of cure for this sort of epidemic, of people becoming possessed, and try and find a way to stop this from happening. So my main character was my actress, Isabel LaFranca, and she's super good at this. I specifically wanted her. The way I had it set up was that I wanted, girl and a boy actor, but because we needed to switch around everybody, I had to make do with a girl. So, I was like, okay, well, maybe it could still work. I can have the girl still want to go after that girl, equality and stuff like that. Basically to go into it. So it's this patient named Patient Zero. It's, now that I think about it, I should have named it. I should have titled it Patient Zero. But, it was this patient called Patient Zero who got, infected by this entity. Right? And this is being the worst case ever, as she, says it in the actual dialogue. And, it's this entity that possesses this guy. And, there's no really hope for him. But the scientist, the girl, it's her job to figure out what's wrong with him. So when we go into the actual room with the computers, she's obviously there sitting, searching. And then, Noah comes in, tries to distract her, why are you doing here so late, and she's sort of, trying to get into the zone. And then Noah kind of forces himself onto her, tries and get her attention and all that. And, she gets very upset from it because it was very quick, So she runs out, she tries to hide in the room, right? Because she's so upset of what Noah did. She doesn't realize that she goes into the room that the actual patient's in, right? And she's not authorized to be in that place. She doesn't have the right equipment to be able to contain this sort of entity, right? So she goes in there. The whole story is like Noah trying to get into there. He runs, gets the keys, comes back, comes in, the door slightly opens. It's like, okay, now it's real, right? Goes in, he calls that she's been possessed by this entity. And, it sort of ends where it's like, Noah's now trapped in that room with this entity, and, then she gets possessed. And, that's basically what the ending and, possession, the title comes in. Right now, I'm actually working on a short from summer. I've been working on a script, and now I'm in production means, I'm directing, full-time director now. My teacher wants me to step away from the camera, develop my directing skills. So now I'm directing this movie called Charlie. I've always loved films. I've always loved them. And before, arriving into St. Johnsbury, I've always looked at behind the scenes. Always wanted to know how they've made the movies. My favorite movie is Transformers, right? My advice, right? This industry is growing miraculously. It is growing, and I love to see that it's growing in Bermuda, right? We have a lot of talented young people in Bermuda. We have people who like to sing, people who like to rap, right? If anything, there's so many things that you can do with this industry, and my advice is that if you're creative, if you have any ounce of creativity in your life, pick up a phone, pick up a camera, and just film something. That is my advice, because that can go a long way. As long as you have that artistic vision of something, I say go for it. It doesn't matter. And even if it's photography, right? Go for it. Go for it. I think my advice for that is that, if you have a friend that wants to rap, that he wants a little, he wants a little show, I say go for it and film it with an iPhone. You know, the iPhones that are being made now, you know, they have depth of field and all of that. Like, it's crazy, you know, pick up a phone and film it. That's what I'm saying. You can film anything everywhere. The world is your story, right? And I think that, you know, if for one to use their creativity to make it that, then I say go for it. And that is my advice. Go for it. Get out of your comfort zone. That's my advice. So my name is Matteo Dill, and I encourage everybody to go out to the Bermuda International Film Festival. And I have put in my films, Trauma and Possession.